Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here. It's been about 2 years since I started reviewing Bakugan, and as you can see, I've actually been pretty successful for it. Look at that view count. Oh yeah. And I can definitely thank you guys for that. And kind of as a repayment, I figured I'd give you guys some tips on how to be a good toy reviewer. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen, or worse yet, made a review that looked like this. Hey guys, I'm gonna review Bakugan today. It's this one here. Well, I can't remember its name, but it's green, and I gotta adjust the camera. Yeah, not so fun, is it? Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you really how to avoid all the problems that video had. Now, a good place to start is this video called 7 Deadly Sins of Vlogging. It kind of goes over the basic problems that encounter really making any kind of YouTube video, whether it be a review or not. But the things I'm going to be going over are the things that really have to do with toy reviews. Now, before you really start anything, the first thing you need to have is energy! I watch a lot of these reviews and the people reviewing them just sound so bored. They sigh and they pause and they say, oh, a whole lot. That's the thing. If you don't sound excited about what you're reviewing, why should we get excited about what you're reviewing? It's just a simple idea. So what you need to do is before you do a review, you need to go and get energized. Now, I'm not saying like chugging Red Bull or anything. I'm saying things like go and watch some of your favorite videos, listen to some of your favorite music that really just revs you up just to get you ready for it. Just having the proper energy is one of the most important steps. Having a good presence of mind in order to be able to do that. Now, some things that can help with energy or help seem like you have energy is planning beforehand. Like they say in the 7 Deadly Sins of Vlogging, he actually prepares a script. Now, I don't prepare a script, I usually just tape a list of notes onto my camera, but it still generates the same effect, so I know what I'm supposed to be talking about. Another one is ambience. Turn off your freaking TV and your freaking music. If you want music in your video, you can add it later in the editor. Right now, you're just trying to get your voice. Find a nice, quiet place during a quiet time of day, maybe on the weekend while your parents are out or something. Find a quiet room. Now, I admit this room doesn't really have the best sound capabilities, but it certainly helps. Another thing you want to have is proper lighting. Otherwise, you're either going to look really super grainy like I do right now, or you'll just be too dark like in that really bad review I did a minute ago. The thing is, the light bulbs in the space in your room, not only are they right above you, which kind of covers up your eyes and makes you look really evil, but they're only about 60 watts, which doesn't really generate much power at all. Now, if you're a cheapskate like me, an easy solution is one of these work lights that you can buy at Home Depot or another hardware store for about $8, and a 150 watt bulb, which you can buy for about the same price. Just a little bit of that goes a long way. Now, that's the thing, is even in the world of movies, 150 watts is still a pretty big lightweight. Like, a small movie light is considered to be 500, 1,000 watts, and they even have some that go as high as 18,000 watts and are nearly the size of a small car! The only reason this one really works so well for me is because I usually only keep it about 5 feet away. So that's really about the only way you can get that much benefit out of the light is if you keep it really close to you. But yes, light is important. It allows you to see details. It allows people to see your face with some nice dramatic angles, and people can finally see what you're talking about. You can keep the ISO lower, and your picture will just look nicer with just about a $20 investment that makes all the difference in the world. Now that you have a nice, quiet, well-lit shooting area, it's time to add the details. You want to throw some things around that are relevant to your review. If I get a poster with something I'm reviewing, I usually put it on the wall behind me like I saw in my Skylanders review, or in the case of my Bakugan, I have this Baku Frisbee, which I've had for a while, cost me about $5. I don't know if they're really findable anymore, which makes a good backdrop for my Bakugan reviews. You know what they say, the devil's in the details. You could save the packaging, you could save some posters, you could find some advertisements, you could print something out, you can set around some more of your favorite things related to what you're reviewing, but just adding a little bit of ambiance adds to the detail. It kind of helps center the focus on what you're working on. Well, now that you have a reviewing area set up, you want to make sure you know what you're talking about. Do research. Go look up what the names of these things are. Look up their backstory, their details, any interesting features about the toy. Watch some other reviews of it. That can give you some ideas, and also give you some other ideas for things that people have done too much of, and allow you to make your own observations. If you know what you're talking about, it just helps a lot in the writing of the script and the details, and you'll come off as a much more competent reviewer. And now we come to the next part. You've shot the review, you've shot you talking about it, but it seems to need something else. You know, you flubbed a line here and you had to cut that out, or you dropped something over here, or the camera shut off. Well, that is where something comes to the rescue that is called B-reel. Now, your A-reel is you talking about your review, but your head just sitting there flapping can get kind of boring after a while, so B-reel is additional footage that you put over the A-reel in order to help what you're talking about. Like, it could be close-ups of the toy you're looking at, it could be showing the toys in action, it could be grabbing clips from the show. They really help people see the details of what you're going over. It kind of adds a break into the action, which lets people look better, and it helps you cover up mistakes. That's another thing. You don't want people to know about your mistakes, which comes into our next part. Editing. You want to edit your videos. Don't just take something that you just shot off your iPhone and throw it straight onto the internet. It looks terrible. There's no color correction, there's no audio, all your mistakes are there. I've actually had people announce their mistakes when they reshoot a video, and that's not really something you want to do. They don't need to know that you messed up. It's kind of simple about it. In the editing, you want to go get a good editing program. Editing programs can actually be pretty cheap, around $100. There's some that usually come with a computer, like Movie Maker or iMovie, which can work fairly well if you can figure out how to use them and get the proper kind of format onto them. Now, they don't always generate the best results, but hey, they're free. This is why I don't put out as many reviews as some people, because I tend to put a lot of care into them, because I want them to be more than just a review. I want them to be entertaining. I want you guys to watch it because they make you laugh. They're fun. So that is why I spend a lot of time doing the editing. It takes much longer to edit a video than it does just to shoot one. So those are some simple tips that anybody can use to make a great review. You need to have energy, and you need to be in a quiet, well-lit area that has a few accoutrements related to what you're reviewing. You need to know what you're reviewing, know as much as you can about it, and it helps to shoot some other video or grab some other video as well. Just keep fair use in mind if you go and rip something off of the internet. And of course, once that's all done, you need to edit it to make it perfect. That is just basic movie making practice in general. And now that we have our energetic, well-lit, well-researched review done in a quiet location with a few accoutrements and some good B-reel, we can show off our incredible review. Let's see it! Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and today I'm going to be reviewing a Bakugan from the Baku Fusion line called Volkaos. Volkaos is actually the combined form of two Bakugan, and as far as Baku Fusions go, this one is definitely one of my favorites. I'm going to be going over why in just a sec. Volkaos, like all Baku Fusions, actually consists of two Bakugan. In this case, a couple members of the No-Nets, who are members of some of the villainous sides of the second half of Megatanium Surge, which kind of came out of nowhere. Now, Volkaos in the show is Ventus and Aquas, but the one I have here, because of how it was sold, is Ventus and Ventus. But it gets the point across. First off, we have this one called Wharton. Wharton is a little guy here. This one is 960 Gs. He's got a little head here to make room for the peg in order to make Volkaos, and actually the larger Volkaos head is stored back here, kind of like you see with some of the bigger Transformers. Now, when I hear Wharton, I kind of hear like Horton, like from Horton Hears a Who, but you know, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, it's not like this guy looks like an elephant or something. Oh, whoa. And our other Bakugan is one called Ballista. Ballista, as opposed to Wharton, looks more like a frilled lizard. This one is 850 Gs, and it's got a few tails in the back here, which turn out to make Volkaos' legs. Now, the thing about these guys is the parts by themselves look kind of funny, but the thing is, the reason that Volkaos is one of my favorite Bakugan combinations is because you just really can't argue with these results. Look at this thing. It is amazing looking. It has, you know, it looks like its own creature rather than, you know, a reenactment of Yertle the Turtle or something like that. This is what I like. I said that 2011 was a mixed bag, and this is definitely some of the good parts of 2011 because, let's face it, this guy looks amazing. Now, he still uses the same rules as the Bakugan fusion, which means that if you land these two guys on the same card, then they fuse and win the card automatically. And you know what? If I ever made a Ventus deck, I'd probably use these guys just because they look so cool. I mean, those weird tentacles on Wharton become the hands. You have the head that flips out that looks really nice. The legs make it look kind of like Crowl or Raisinoid. And everything else is just unobtrusive and nice. So this is definitely something I like. Spin Master, you did a good job on this one, and I hope to see more like it in the future. Anyway, I'll be back sometime later with another review with some of the things I managed to obtain. And until then, this is Kohdok signing off.